In March of 2016, a new but unknown collective of artists called Elebration took to the streets of South Philadelphia and would forever alter the creative scene that made up Philadelphia. Led by the charismatic and very talented DJ Vllg. It was the birth of something special in the city, the likes of which it had not seen before in its young people. Not being attached to the hip-hop scene in Philly, which is probably at the top of the food chain, really meant that you did not have much visibility to your craft and your brand. Now, there were only three ways to really get put on in Philly. For one, you had to have very strong individual talent, which required substantial investment in yourself. Two, you had to have access in a pipeline through Cosmic Kev, who would give you that walk-in kind of interview to people who would come visit the city. Or you had to have a lane to the the Overbrook crowd, Will Smith, Charlie Mack, that group. They, believe it or not, they have a very strong presence in Philadelphia. And of course, I can't forget South Philly too. South Philly definitely has this pipeline. If you're trying to do anything now, you have to go through Vllg and Glbl, so it got brought back to North, so shout out the area at Vllg and Glbl. And for the infrastructure that did exist, it was not tailored for the younger, ethereal, hipster-conscious artists, which really made up the core of Philadelphia at that time. If you weren't a hard street rapper, a hard female rapper, they really couldn't do nothing for you, because I believe that they understand that the attention that they bring is really the vehicle for advertising and basically selling a product. Enter Rec Philly. I'm pretty sure that Rec Philly was established in 2015, but Rec Philly came in as the infrastructure for the underground artists of Philadelphia. That was an organization that was supposed to get you involved in all the big musical festivals happening in the area. They would teach you about, your music business. They would teach you how to shoot your videos. They would shoot your videos for you because they had teams of these individuals that they would pretty much kind of like play the middleman to get you what you needed to be successful. And I know it was difficult initially because a lot of artists came to Rec Philly with the expectation that Rec Philly was going to do all of the work for them, and all they had to do was perform, which allowed a lot of artists to spread a lot of misinformation and negative experiences about Rec Philly. Enter Glbl Vllg. It would be unfair for me to say how Glbl Vllg started, but in my opinion, the Glbl Vllg template really closely mirrored Elebration's. The founders on that side had a really close relationship to the Rec Philly people. So a lot of the infrastructure was immensely better. They had better access to the mainstream folks. They had merchandise. They had proper planning and organization. We had those things too, but not to this magnitude. And between Glbl Vllg and Rec Philly, I really feel like they took that model and took it to the next level if you've ever visited one of their jams. It's been many years since then. So if you've ever been to an Elebration event or a Glbl Vllg event, or if you've been a part of Rec Philly, chime in and tell me a little bit about your experience. And if you've been there, tell me who ran the scene for real, for real.